it's Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I am up today doing a live intro, and I'm just sort of explaining where my thought process is going, and then I will switch to voiceover mode. But basically I am scrapping this photo here, which is a photo of my son's first bath. Unfortunately, my partner wasn't actually here when we did this, which was a real shame, but we'd just been discharged from hospital. I don't have the date on the back, but it was on the 4th of February. And so I think my son was about 13 days old, 14 days old at this point. So his first bath was quite late. He'd had a wipe down, obviously, but just not a full bath. And yeah, my partner couldn't be there, which was a real shame, but we did another first bath at home with his dad, which was lovely. And I'm using this fabulous cut file from Virginia, Confessions of a Paper Addict, and this is for her Ocean Vibes collection, or part of her Ocean Vibes collection. So love that, and I thought as soon as I saw that cut file, I was like, perfect photo, that's what I'm going to do. I'm either going to back it on this piece of cardstock here, which is actually from the Crafter's Choice Kids Play collection. I've got a 12x12 paper pad, just got it from Spotlight, or I'm going to back it on white. I haven't quite decided. I've got a lot of like nautical themed embellishments here from the Pebbles collection, this collection here, and I've got the ephemera pack as well. Excuse me, it's been opened, but it looks like that. I don't actually know what this collection's called. I got no idea, but that's it. There's heaps of nautical themed stuff there, so I'm going to use those. So yeah, I'm going to back this cut file off camera because it takes too long to do it on camera, but what I do is just use my Tombow liquid glue, go around the edge, stick the cardstock on, and then use my little small scissors here to kind of cut around. That's how personally I back mine. Everybody does it a bit differently, but that's how I do mine. So when you see me next, I'll be in fast forward mode and my cut file will already be backed, but I just wanted to give you that little live intro. And then yeah, thinking whether I will do the sort of patterned cardstock, even though it's still a pretty minimal pattern, with the cut file, and it will just depend on what other colors I decide to back the cut file with. The photo has the kind of peaches and stuff in it on my top, so I don't know yet. I'll have to have a think, but I will back the cut file, and when you see me, I'll be in fast forward mode, and I've probably already decided what cardstock background I'm using, and you will already know anyway, spoiler alert, from the thumbnail, but I don't know what I'm doing yet, so it will be a surprise for me. Alright, so I will talk to you in voiceover shortly. Hope you're having a great day. I am. Okay, I'll see you guys soon. Right, I'm back. I know I said that I was going to go into voiceover mode, and I am, but I just wanted to talk you through my thinking now that I have backed this cut file, because I think it's going to be difficult to talk through during the voiceover. So this is the cut file backed, so you can see I've used 6 different pattern papers. And the back, if anyone is interested. I haven't put dimensionals on this or anything because I'm not sure yet how I'm going to make it work. Oh, I will cut out the inside of this A, actually. I haven't done that, but I will. I still haven't 100% decided if I want to use this kind of raindrop paper. I mean, I think the raindrop paper will look nice if I do use it, but otherwise I've just got also a plain white piece of cardstock which I might use. I don't know. I need to fiddle around a bit. I need to decide. I quite like the plain white, but my sister, because we text each other our layout sometimes and ask for advice, she likes the raindrops. So I don't know. But here is also what I'm thinking. So I've got these sequins, blue, silver mix of sequins, and I think somehow I want to put them under these water droplets or water spray that's spraying out. I want them to kind of be sequined. I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to do that yet, but I'm going to do that, which is why I'm thinking plain white will be the way to go, because then I've got this photo with the sequins, this photo, and then I've got like the nautical themed kind of embellishments, and I'm thinking I'm going to add this to the title. So the title will end up being Splish Splash. I was taking a bath. You know that song? Anyway, just me? No. Okay. So that's where my head's at currently. So I will now flip into voiceover mode. I'm thinking I might try it out on this, the white cardstock and see if I like it. And I can always switch to the raindrop cardstock later if I want to. I'll give it a whirl on this, but I will flip now to voiceover and I'll have a play around with these sequins and see what I can make work. All right, so here I am voiceovering, and what I am doing is I sort of fiddle around a little bit, but I didn't record it, just making sure that I had the position that I wanted for the cut file. And then I'm just using a pencil and I am tracing the inside circle of the splashes, or the water splashes, and then I will stick the sequins on. I don't make you watch me stick all the sequins on, but I do zoom in close so that you can see how I stick, sort of one section of sequins, and then it's the same process for the rest of them. And I am really, really happy with how this turned out. You know how sometimes you make a layer and you just go, yes, you're really happy with it and it works? That was me with this layout. I mean, I love the photo, which always helps. Obviously, I think I said it at the start in my intro, it's Lincoln's first bath. We were in the hospital. It was actually the day that we were being moved to the parent rooms, where we were still in the hospital, but Lincoln had to stay with me. So that was at I don't know, he was 14 days old or something. And yes, he had a very late first bath, but nonetheless, it was his first bath. So how I decided to try out sticking down the sequins, and it did work, is that I put a layer of Tombow liquid glue. You could use anything, but I used Tombow liquid glue onto the outline of the splashes, and I am using it's actually a Stampin' Up tool. I'm not sure what it's called, the picking tool or something, and it has a kind of sticky end. I think other companies make them too, actually, so you can sort of pick up things. It's got a slightly sticky end. You pick it up and you put it down. So it was actually really handy for the sequins because they are so fiddly. And then the other end has like a little mini spatula, which was super handy as well. So yeah, first time I'd used it, forgot I had it, and I thought it was cool. So you can see the little spatula on the end there that I'm using to help kind of push the sequins into place. And the liquid glue I found worked really well. I'm doing words. I am doing this voiceover at least a week after I made this layout, and none of the sequins have fallen off or anything like that. So yeah, I think it worked really well with the liquid glue. Whew, I've got a frog in my throat. Sorry, having a drink of water. So yeah, you can see me there. I'm just sticking all the sequins down, and the reason that I traced the inside of the splash was because then I knew I had some leeway with the sequins, that I could overlap and I could cover the grey lead line and it would still be covered by the cut file. So you can see there, all done, and it looks so good. So sparkly. And so I've also already put dimensionals on the back of the cut file too, because that takes much longer than you think. So peeled off all the backs of the cut files of the dimensionals, and now I am sticking that cut file down. So I just lined up with the splashes, and yeah, that was easy. Stuck that down. So committed to where that's going. And now I start the awesome embellishment process, which is always the fun part, isn't it, of layouts. So I have all of these nautical themed embellishments from a baby line from Pebbles. I don't actually know what the line is called. It's not on their packaging. I could look it up, but who's got time for that? Sorry. If you do want to know what it is, let me know down below and I will look it up for you. But it's like a nautical themed, I guess it's boy. It is blue. Nautical themed. Oh, it is boy themed, sorry, because it says baby boy and that sort of thing on the ephemera. So I am using that to embellish this layout because I figure it was a bath. The cut file says splash. You know, when else am I going to use nautical themed ephemera? And so I go a little bit nuts. let's be honest. So I'm pulling out everything now, and I'm just kind of trying to lay it down on the layout. I haven't 100% decided where I want to put the photo. Often, if you've watched a lot of our videos before, you will know that I just scrap, and I actually commit and stick things down. I don't usually kind of do this process, which is where I put everything down before I've really committed. Normally I've at least stuck the photo down and I'm happy with all of that before I kind of start messing around with ephemera. So I do think I better decide where I'm going to put the photo before I start messing around with any more ephemera. So I pull out the papers that I used to back the cut file, and I am going to put a couple of layers behind the photo. So again, I think I mentioned this in the intro. The cut file is from Virginia Walker's Confessions of a Paper Addict shop on Etsy, and this is the Ocean Week. I think the Ocean Vibes Week, and there's some awesome kind of ocean water themed cut files that Virginia has made because she's super talented and she just thinks up the most amazing things, and she's made heaps. So check it out. There'll be a video from the DT every day and you'll be able to see some awesome examples of those cut files in action. So I chose this Splash when Virginia showed us all the cut files that we could choose from. This one, immediately when I saw it, I was like, that one, I am doing that one, because I knew that I had this photo and I knew it would be the perfect photo for it. So I am now fiddling around with where I might want to put my photo. I was going to put it on the right and I think it would have looked good there. I do, but I'm sort of faffing around a bit. I was going to put it in the middle of the sort of waves and the splash, but I think to do that, I would have wanted to overlap some of the waves, and obviously because they're sequins and they're stuck onto the white cardstock, I couldn't kind of overlap any of the waves into the photo. So I needed to make sure that I wasn't trying to overlap the cut file onto the photo. So at this point in time, I'm still thinking my photo will go onto the right hand side. It doesn't, which, you know, if you looked at the thumbnail, you will know it doesn't end up there. But I'm still thinking at this point in time that that is where it's going to go. So I'm even still, you know, looking at the different embellishments and still playing around and sort of in my head committing to that being where the photo goes. But as I try and stick more embellishments down, I realised that that photo position's just not really going to work. It doesn't balance out the layout enough. And so I sort of go for something that's a bit more unusual for me, and I put my photo kind of straight at the top. Because the splash is sort of vertical, not sort of, it is vertical, but it's quite sort of squarish, and I don't know, it's longer than my photo. I just thought it worked quite well when I have the photo centered up the top and the splash centered down the bottom, and it kind of gives me some space to embellish. And because I've gone with a nautical theme, where my head was at was sort of that, you know, all of the embellishments, it will be like we're underwater, and I try to create that effect with the splatters at the end. So you can see here I'm sort of looking at the different stickers, puffy stickers and ephemera, die cut ephemera that I have, and creating some clusters. So I've got these cute, I don't even know what animals they are. They sort of look like dugongs, but yeah, they're not. I don't know if people call them dugongs in America. Anyway, I don't know what they are, but they're cute. And I decided to put one at the top there, and then there's a baby one, and I put that down the bottom. And when I was looking at my layout just before I started this voiceover, I sort of realised I've put like the little baby one near baby Lincoln and the big mummy one near me. And I was like, that was not deliberate, but it was a cute coincidence. Oh, and I'm layering a couple of, I guess these are supposed to be seaweed, underneath those fish, whale fishy dugong things. Yeah, I'm layering the seaweed under those just to kind of, I guess, create mini little clusters. And I do come back and add a few more things to each of those, both of those clusters before we finish. And you can see, sorry, I didn't talk you through it, but I tucked in a lot of other ephemera pieces down in amongst the splash. And I will come back and probably add a few more to that sort of down there. I don't really have three distinct clusters in this layout. It's just, I've got these two sort of on either side of the photo, but then they kind of merge into bigger clusters anyway by the end. So the sort of 3 cluster rule or the triangle rule is definitely not in effect for this layout. It definitely just looks a bit more random. So there were these little fish on the sticker sheets, and I end up just sticking all of them on this layout. And again, this is where I say those clusters kind of merge into the splash word. And so again, I'm going for that underwater theme. So I'm sticking the fish in, and then I'll come back and stick some whales. And yeah, it just all happens. It's all cute. So I'm sticking some more fish, but this time into the splash word. So I'm popping some up on dimensionals, the die cut pack fish, and there's also some in the puffy sheets that I come back and stick down. I think I'll do that now, or I might do it at the end. Oh yeah, that's the cute little what do you call it, crab. And here are the puffy stickers where I'm going, oh wait, there's some teeny tiny fishies on the puffy stickers, so I'll add those to the layout and keep those within the cluster as well. Because I added 3 fish in the splash words, but then the rest went in those other 2 sort of big clusters around the photo. And then here is where I was trying to work out how I was going to make this whale work. So this is a whale on the puffy sticker. Well, that might have been the flat sticker. No, so I've got the puffy sticker whale on one hand, and then there were also the flat stickers had whales as well. So I use both. So I kind of, a mummy and a baby whale again, sort of similar to what I did up the top with the other 2 fish. So I've stuck those down. Have I stuck down the octopus? Oh no, I'm sticking down the anchors now, and I'm tucking them in the cut file. So I sort of tuck that one under the H. And have I stuck the other one down already over the S? I think I have. Oh, and now I'm getting my ruler out, which again, I never do, to add the rest of my title, which I don't make you sit all the way through and watch me stick it down. But I do create, as I was telling you in my intro, the title that says Splish Splash, I was taking a bath. So I've done that. And then I must be nearly done. I must be going to add some splatters, and that makes the layout complete. So the splatter effect I was going for was to sort of make it look a little bit like we were underwater. And so I hope that effect comes through. I will also say I've got a link to everything in the description box down below. So a direct link to Virginia's shop and also to this exact cut file. My sister has also created another cut file, the same as she did last month, with the waist of this splash word. So I think she's going to release it the same day as I release this one, but I'm not 100% sure. If she does, I will make sure I link it down below for you, because it just goes to show that you can create 2 layouts, I guess, with 1 cut. So not to throw out what I guess a lot of people would consider the waste section of their cut files, because there is a lot you can do with those. That's why it works so well for us, because obviously we both have a similar layout. Well, we don't. They look very different, but they both say splash. They're both about bathing photos of our children. But it is nice to see, I guess, that you can, use one cut of the silhouette or whichever machine that you're using, and you can get 2 layouts out of it. So I've used navy Heidi Swap Colour Shine, and then the silver Marabou spray that I have as mists, and that's it. We're done. Oh yes, I find the navy and the silver both actually splatter quite wide when I use them, so there is a lot of cleanup required. So I will show you some close-ups, and that is it. That is the layout done. I hope you like this. Make sure you check out all the links down below, and we will see you guys in the next video. Alright, thanks for watching. I hope you like this as much as I did. Bye!